You've seen this painting. Billions have. For 500 years, Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper is how humanity imagines one of history's most pivotal moments. Long table, 13 men sitting upright, perfectly composed, perfectly symmetrical, perfect except for one problem. This image shaped how generations envision a meal that happened in the darkness of first-century Jerusalem. But here's what most people don't know. Leonardo wasn't painting archaeology. He was painting theology. He was painting Renaissance memory. And memory is not the same thing as truth. Passover, 30 AD Jerusalem, Roman occupation choking the city. The temple is chaos, pilgrims pressing through gates, priests managing ritual, merchants selling sacrificial animals. The smell of roasted lamb hangs in the narrow streets like incense and like warning. Somewhere in this city, in a room that we'll never locate with certainty, 13 men gather for a meal. Not a grand banquet, not a formal ceremony, just a meal, the last one they'll share. The disciples don't yet understand what's coming. The Gospel accounts suggest Jesus hasn't announced it clearly, but this night will reshape human consciousness for the next 2,000 years. And it will do so not in a hall with high ceilings and a long, formal table. It will happen in a cramped room, lying down, shoulder to shoulder, head to head, in the kind of physical intimacy that modern sensibilities find genuinely uncomfortable. This is the moment Leonardo didn't paint. There are no chairs, no high table, instead couches, 3 of them, arranged in a U-shape around a low central table. This arrangement is called a triclinium. It's Roman. It signals freedom. In the Roman world, slaves stood to eat. Free people reclined. Jesus reclines. The disciples recline. Equals in posture, equals in vulnerability. But understand what this posture demands of the body. Your left elbow supports your weight. Your body angles backward at 45 degrees. Your legs extend behind you bare from the knee down. Your right hand, the only hand you can eat with, reaches across your body toward the central table. This isn't casual comfort, it's radical proximity. It strips away formality. It erases the distance that allows people to hide. You cannot maintain composure in this position. You cannot hide your face. You cannot eat alone. You are bound to the people beside you by the sheer physics of shared space. In Jerusalem, you don't wear shoes inside. You leave them outside. Your feet become bare, and your feet gather everything from the streets, the unpaved earth, the drainage that runs through the center of each narrow lane, animal waste, the physical record of a city without modern sanitation. This is what touches the floor. These feet, these vulnerable, unclean feet. Then something happens that was shocking and unprecedented. A servant approaches. He brings water. He kneels. He touches these feet. He washes them. He dries them with cloth. According to the Gospel of John, this servant is Jesus. The master becomes the one performing the lowest task. The sacred touches the unclean. The highest becomes the lowest. Now the meal begins. This is Passover, a ritual meal constructed entirely of symbols. The lamb, roasted over open coals that afternoon, its skin charred dark, fat dripping, represents the lamb sacrificed in Egypt, whose blood marked the doorposts so death would pass over. The bread, unleavened, thick, broken by hand rather than cut, represents the bread of Exodus, made in haste by people escaping slavery. The bitter herbs, endive, chicory, wormwood, taste sharp and medicinal, bitter like suffering and bondage itself. The carousel, dates and nuts ground into a paste, is the mortar that enslaved Israelites mixed to build Pharaoh's monuments, and the wine, dark, thick, the wine of liberation, the wine of commemoration. These aren't decorative elements, they're edible meaning. They're eating their history, they're eating their freedom, they're eating their identity as a people delivered by God. To dip bread into the same bowl, to have your hand in the space where someone else's hand just was, to feel the air move from their movement, to hear their breathing. This requires something modern etiquette has trained us to avoid: the vulnerability of shared space. Not trust that no one will steal your portion, but trust that you're bound to these people through physical, undeniable communion. Leonardo's painting shows distance between diners. They can look at each other, they can gesture, but they don't have to feel each other's presence. Here, feeling is unavoidable. You smell the person beside you. You hear their breathing. Your shoulder touches theirs. Your hand passes through the air their hand just occupied. The meal becomes a negotiation of space, a surrender to intimacy. And that intimacy, that physical, inescapable closeness, is about to make what happens next almost unbearable. In a triclinium, seating reveals hierarchy. The position to the host's left is the seat of honor. Accounts suggest Jesus reclines at the center. John, traditionally described as the disciple Jesus loved, is positioned to his right, and Judas is positioned to his left. In the seat of honor, he's the group's treasurer, the one Jesus has entrusted with the money, the one sitting closest, the one most honored. These three men are reclining perhaps 6 feet apart. They can see each other by leaning slightly forward. They can hear each other breathing. In this cramped room, they can hear a whisper. That proximity is about to become the stage for the most intimate betrayal in human history. The meal is underway. Bread is being shared. Wine is being poured. The disciples are relaxed, bound by ritual and food and shared space. Then Jesus speaks something that cuts through the warmth. "One of you will betray me." The words land like a stone. The disciples are confused. Each one asks, "Surely not me." They cannot imagine betrayal. They cannot imagine separation. Then someone reaches across the table, dips bread in the bowl, brings it to his mouth. According to the gospel accounts, Jesus' response is chilling in its resignation. What you are about to do quickly. Not a command, not an accusation, almost an acceptance of something inevitable. But here's what's crucial. The other disciples don't hear what Jesus says to Judas. It's a whisper. A moment of privacy in this cramped room where everyone can see everyone else. The intimacy that had made this meal sacred, the closeness, the vulnerability, now becomes a barrier. A secret shared only between two men in the amber lamplight, and no one else can access it. No one else can stop it. Judas stands. His body lifts from the couch. He steadies himself. For just a moment, he looks back. Jesus is reclining as if nothing has happened. John looks confused. The other disciples are uncertain. Judas turns toward the door, and as he does, everything changes. The interior is warm, golden, sacred. The stone walls glow amber in lamplight. The pottery reflects warmth. The linen is soft, worn, lived in. The space holds the weight of communion. Then Judas reaches the door. His hand touches the wood. He lifts the latch. The heavy door swings open, and the world transforms. Outside is Jerusalem night. Full darkness. Not twilight, not dusk. Night. The kind of darkness that swallows you. Stars are visible, sharp and cold above the city. Wind cuts into the room. The oil lamp flickers, nearly extinguishing. Judas stands silhouetted in the doorway, Caught between two worlds, the warm, intimate space of the meal behind him, the cold, chaotic darkness of the city ahead, neither here nor there, neither inside nor outside, neither still a friend nor yet a betrayer. Then he steps through. His silhouette disappears into darkness. The door closes. The lamp inside flickers. Shadows dance across the remaining 11. Everything has changed. The meal has ended. The night has truly come.